Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Midday Saturday stream. We don't usually do this because the games are on, but the games are actual dog shit right now. So we have decided to go like, okay, since the games are crap right now, we're just no one trying to do like Coventry Ipswich, and we all know Everton are crap. They're gonna lose to Bournemouth anyway. So, why not bring in a panel, talk about the Premier League, talk about our clubs. You get me? By the way, there's a guy who's not on the thumbnail who will be joining us. Deji is going to be on his way as well. So we're going to talk about Highland for life. You get me? I can't wait. Speaking of, big up Al Jazeera Australia in the chat. You get me? Big up to CRG. Big up to Danny up the Reds. Big up to Alex. United BT. Biggest club in the world had to rob Leicester City. It's crazy. Big up to Majestic Eye Notes. Big up to Paul, an honest Spurs fan. Appreciate it. Big up to Gaza. Man like Gaza, everyone's favorite Scotsman in the chat. Big up to all of you guys. Big up to Toka as well. Listen, big up to all of you guys. There's already 100 people in here. We haven't even started the stream yet. I don't want to keep interrupting the stream to tell you to like and subscribe. So if you're watching this right now or on the replay, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. Anyway, joining me first and foremost, you get me? He takes on Brighton today. It's the fraud with a soundboard that everyone loves. You get me? It's Brighton versus Brighton Light. Man like Marshall is in the building. Hi, Marshall.
What's going on? Thanks for having me on.
Can you give me one?
Say
oh my
Brighton
God, please.
Light. I'm better than Brighton now.
Can you give me one? Oh my God, please.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. I got you. Wait. Here we go.
Oh my God!
It's gonna be me when we first concede to Brighton.
You have actually the funniest one I said because you recorded it. Which part did you record this from?
When Salah missed his penalty, 2 seasons ago, I think.
Oh yeah, that would have been that probably that does sound like my reaction right there. Yeah.
That was a rough season for you, but
yeah, the one where we finished 5th. I remember doing streams with Lewis calling each other Mud Brothers. Damn, we have come a long way. I swear we were the original Mud Brothers, bro. There was a point in time where we were like 9th. By the way, guys, just so everyone knows, the worst game in football history that I have ever watched is Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0 at Anfield that season. That was the worst game of football with no attack whatsoever. It was the shittest game in history. Do you remember that game?
Was that the one where you said
Mudryk debut,
right?
The highlight of the game was Mudryk dribbles past
That
Milner.
was
That was the highlight of the game. Yeah, that was the worst game ever. Anyway, we were. Hey. Joining us next on the channel, you get me, the biggest thief, because he robbed Leicester. We want to ask why Man United need a Maguire late-minute robbery to beat Leicester City with Ruud van Nistelrooy, ladies and gentlemen. Man like Shik is in the building to answer these questions. How are we, Shik lad?
Big up to everyone. Make sure you guys smash the likes. First of all, I would like to say it's not our fault that the linesman didn't call offside. It's not my fault. Okay, it is what it is. But anyways, we get the 3 points. We're going to talk about the team, though. We have a lot of things to discuss today that we're going to get into, specifically about the manager. So we'll get into it. But big up to everyone.
Your fraudulence can't be matched. Actually, I take that back. It can be matched. The farmer / musician is here, ladies and gentlemen. I fucking love working with this guy. He knows I love working with him as well. He's like always first invite. I always message him first whenever I want to do one of these streams. But usually he's like away just farming or like, doing something like this, on the tractor, collecting the vegetables. You get me? But he's been collecting L's recently because he's out of both cups and, his club's going to Dubai. Man like TJ is in the building. Hi, TJ.
Here's the thing is I just want to clarify something. First of all, Hussam, you're welcome for being here. You're welcome. I'll say that on behalf of the panel. You're welcome. Second, Hussam, sometimes you got to leave the house. I think a lot of people in the chat don't know this isn't all that I do. Okay, last time you asked me, I was in New Orleans, partying it up, living life, down in the Big Easy. So sometimes you got to go out and touch some grass, Hussam. That's all I'm saying.
Is it true that New Orleans food is like the best food in the US?
It's incredible. Yeah. I came back about 20 pounds heavier.
Never been there.
Hey, Zion, I get it now. I get it, Zion. I understand. Fair enough.
But
And,
big up here for having me, Hussam. Big up. Let's go.
Of course. See, just
Yeah,
appreciate
whatever. You
it.
guys,
Just
whatever.
appreciate it. At
You guys
least I
haven't
don't
seen
call
it.
you Trevor.
If I look like
Phillips.
a farmer, you guys haven't seen a farmer in your life.
I actually have seen a farmer. The only thing missing from you is like an overall. That's it.
Yeah, you need some overalls. Bring it back.
Yeah, if
TJ,
you
why
actually
not?
wore an overall, I swear
Do you
to God.
do you live next to like Jordanian farms? Is that what you're telling me? Like
Yeah,
you live next
there
to
are like
farms in
farmers
Jordan?
near me and
and
shepherds.
they wear overalls like they do here in America for some reason.
No, they don't wear over here. They don't wear overalls. But, like, I've watched plenty of movies and stuff, right? So like I know that they wear overalls in the farms over there. Innit? So like I can only go based off of what I know.
If only farmers wear overalls. That's gonna be a new joke of mine now. Hey, are you a
That's-
farmer?
that's
You want to
fun.
see overalls?
And they always have like those lumberjack t-shirts like underneath it, like those like
Oh,
red
the flannel,
and
the
like
flannel.
white, like
red
you know,
flannels,
striped ones and stuff.
Are they
they
always
always
chewing
have-
on straws?
You know what's unbelievable is I actually have a red flannel. So
I do too.
I do too.
There you go then.
I do as well. Yeah.
There you go then. See, I didn't even. I'm not making stuff up. It's reality. Anyway, we go from the fraud of the west to the fraud of the east. Joining us is everyone's favorite Australian on the channel. See, I'm not like Mo. I don't disrespect people's heritage. I don't call him Canadian. I know he loves Australia. You get me? High line for life. Big up. Vegemite army in the building. Man like Martin. How you doing, Martin?
Vegemite army.
You're on mute, Martin. Too experienced for this now.
Oh, look, it's like 15 minutes back there. If it's going to take this long, I could have slept in, you know?
Wow.
this is why Martin's a legend, man.
Hold
This is why
that,
Martin's
hold
a
that,
legend.
Hussam, hold that.
Martin is definitely a legend. 100% Martin's a legend. I absolutely love
In my own
working with Martin.
lunchbox. That's for sure.
Appreciate you, Martin. Appreciate you. It's kind of like the shirt Martin's wearing now, but like with an overall.
And red.
I can see that.
I get what you mean.
And
Yeah, and
I
it's
get what
like
you mean.
red color, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
even longer than my beard and usually bald, like over here. That's
you go.
that's like the vision I have when I think of a farmer.
They've got fantasies about you, TJ.
No,
Yeah, it's okay. He's not the only one. It's all right.
Hussam's thinking of like Trevor in a flannel. Huh, Hussam? You're thinking of Trevor in a flannel.
No, because if I was saying Trevor, I'd say Jacob is Trevor.
Uh-oh.
Jacob is definitely Trevor, but he's also like Dominic Mysterio at the same time.
Yeah,
If you
he's
went
Dominic
to
Mysterio. I
GTA
can
and
ignore
went to the
Dominic
barber
Mysterio.
and just like shaved like Trevor's beard, it's literally Jacob. It's literally Jacob.
Yeah, I can see it.
And they're both
I can
just as
see it.
crazy as each other. Like I wouldn't be shocked if Jacob like was let's not go there. Anyway, big up to Red Light Toronto because Arsenal
He does
fans
live in El
need to
Paso.
thank us. Second time in 6 years we stopped Spurs winning something. This is true. And it was a very weird experience on my watch along because some Arsenal fans came in my chat and were like, of course we want Liverpool to win. You know, shout out Nafisa, shout out Denzel. And then I saw like some Arsenal fans going like, just because we lost to Newcastle, I hope Spurs beat you. I'm like, what the hell? Are you guys okay? You want Spurs to go to Wembley? Like, I swear I saw it in my chat and I was shocked, to be honest with you. But at the end, everyone just accepted like it's Spurs at Anfield. It's just never.
I wanted Spurs to go to Wembley just to give them a bit more hope and then crush their dreams in the final. But you guys did the semi-final.
I'm with Martin on this one. Yeah.
Yuri, but okay, but then I have to ask you a question, Martin.
Yeah.
And don't do the whole like, oh, they
Here we
never
go.
win anything. If they did beat Newcastle, then what?
The world ends. You see some horsemen. There's an apocalypse, and yeah, the asteroid. There's an asteroid coming in a couple of days.
Yeah,
Right?
that's my point. That's
Ooh.
why you needed us, isn't it? That's why you needed us. And let me not
to be
remind
fair,
you
Mhm.
of the day
Newcastle
when you
being-
sang, when Martin sang, "You'll Never Walk Alone." You
Oh
get
my
me?
God.
Just like TJ did. Let's
a
not
video of
remind
that?
the whole world.
Come on,
You owe us one till the day you rest.
lads.
Had
it's
they
Spurs.
beaten us that day, you did not heard the end of
Spurs. If you wouldn't have beaten them, Spurs would have beaten themselves. So I really wasn't worried about it.
Stop it.
You're
stop
milking
it.
it.
No.
Plus, Newcastle do need a smackdown, and you guys need to do that too, because the amount of like stay humble and all the kind of ball stuff they were trying to get into at the end of the game, like their admin was on Twitter, like trolling about a bowl. I mean, come on, you're not that. You haven't even won anything. Apparently, you can't.
You haven't won
celebrate.
anything in 70+ years. That was crazy work, actually.
Sounds
Yeah.
better from the Arsenal fans.
Hey, I just don't forget when people like slander us. Okay, I keep a list. Newcastle were low down. Now they've moved up a couple of steps.
It's just
I
scary
respect
list.
that. I respect
Wait, who's
that.
at the top of the list then, Martin?
Big up to
City?
VIG who says Arteta's like a 40-year-old virgin. He's missed a huge developmental stage of a league-winning manager, which is winning cups. Ask Pep, Klopp, Mourinho, etc. This is the perfect segue for us to start with Arsenal. Deji will be joining us in a bit. He just messaged me. He's on his way. He's just wrapping up his stream. Big up to everyone locked in, guys. TJ Warren TV is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Martin is on Sad's channel. Go give him a subscribe. Casually FC in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Shik TV in the description. Give him a subscribe. And Deji Spurs' channel as well as in the description. Go give every single one of these guys a subscription, because despite TJ thinking he's the rock star, everyone on the stream actually is
I am a rock star.
incredible, and I love working with all of them.
I am
So
a farmer.
yeah, perfect segue. Thank you to BIG. Thank you to Redline Taranga. Everyone like, subscribe, mods, do your thing. And speaking of Martin, we start with you.
What you got for me?
Yes, out of the cup, Dubai trip incoming. Just tell me your overall feelings on your club right now as things stand.
A summary would be, you know how like a dung beetle has like a big ball of shit and it just keeps it stepping, tries to keep its shit together and then tries to keep shit moving. That's pretty much where the phase we're in right now. I wouldn't want the Carabao Cup to completely implode the season, because there's many reasons to get pissed off, but potentially Newcastle deserve to win both of those legs quite comfortably. And we've only really got ourselves to blame in the footballing department and the transfer department. So, yeah, no one's very happy with the club right now, even though we just smashed City biblically. It feels like that result got deleted, and all we can do now is just stay humble, eat humble pie, talk humbly, softly in voices, quietly about our chances. But I think the key is to not go overboard, but that's just what the Arsenal fan base is very good at. And, you guys know which buttons to press, and we just end up fighting each other at each other's throats about something that we can't control. So, look, I'm pissed off about the transfer window still. I think everyone is. I think Martinelli injury for a month just highlights just what we're trying to do is absolutely crazy. But maybe we'll see like a Tierney left wing and a Calafiori or a Marino striker or something like that, just to really mix it up and make us feel good about the rest of the season. Because there's still 16 games in the league or 14 games in the league, something like that. And the Champions League to go. So, look, we can go to Dubai and we can go to Salt Bay and we can feel a little bit better about ourselves. But fundamentally, we've thrown the season away in several moments. And that Newcastle one was just it was like an icing on the cherry on the cake.
Yeah, well, Martin, this is a different Martin than the last one from the last panel. I think there was a lot of hope before, and now unfortunately, the hope is gone. I don't like being right about these things. Like it was always a possibility that we could drop one more winger, and now we are going to be depending on Trossard and Nwaneri the rest of the season on the flanks. Now we have no backup to Odegaard either in the midfield, unless you want to sub in another Marino stinker appearance in that role. It's really bad for Arsenal fans right now, and anybody with that's preaching any sort of hope or any sort of back the boys, we're going to do this after we get home from Dubai is honestly just delusional or looking for clicks. I'm not going to lie. I'm still going to back the boys. I'm still going to watch every game, but we are playing with a BC squad right now, especially with Kai Havertz getting no delivery. He's not going to be able to generate anything on his own. He never has been. Odegaard is having one of his worst seasons for Arsenal. And I'm with Martin. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kieran Tierney filling in at a left wing. You've seen it before. We've done it once or twice this season already. So it's bad. We always knew that the transfer window wasn't going to be a big splash for us. The manager told us as much. But we're suffering from a situation that we made. So it's unfortunate. And anybody that says this is why Hussam is a fraud, because he says Arsenal, the title of this is Arsenal Dubai to push for title charge. You know, when we get back, we have to play Nottingham Forest. Like
No, you have to
week
play
we're
Leicester
back.
away.
We have to play
mate.
Leicester, and then we have to play Nottingham Forest.
No,
Yeah,
and then
but
you play
got
West Ham
Nottingham
and then
Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
Okay,
All right,
either
Hussam,
way.
do you think they will push title charge after Dubai?
No, this
I
is
think they
it's
are on the
fraudulent.
title
It's
race.
fraudulent because we lose to Nottingham Forest or drop points, and you guys win at Everton. It's over. It's done. But you don't want to admit it because you had to shave your head on the internet, so you don't want to go out on a limb and say it.
Is this like the take shots at Hussam stream? Like what's going on?
No. I'm just.
I mean, if
I'm
it
just
is, I have
saying
a few
it's-
shots.
Yeah, same.
You took a shot at me and
When
Martin
it's
by
my
putting
turn.
that in the title. That's what I'm saying.
Ask Jackson to score a few shots. You'd be in a better position.
Ooh.
I was joking. I was joking. I
Arsenal
came
are
with
in
a plastic
title race.
knife and you whipped out the
This has
butcher one.
nothing to do with Leopard in the tree. This has nothing to do with Hussam's PTSD. You are in a title race. Factually, you're 6 points behind us. You're the closest team. So who the hell am I fighting for the title then? Forest?
Nobody.
That's
You're running
such
away
a
with
load
it.
of shit. You're
running away with it. It's not a load of shit.
so full of it, and
It's
you know
factual.
it. You know you're full of it. Stop it.
I'm not.
I've got to go to City away. I've got to
Has
go to
anybody
Chelsea
overcome
away.
a 9-point
I've got to
deficit?
go to Aston Villa away.
Yes,
I got to go to
they've got
Everton
the
away.
Premier
City
League.
away.
Fulham away.
You're saying City away like every team bar Marshall hasn't beaten City here. Like every single person on the panel has beaten.
Yeah, but we don't win on the
Even
at the
Deji's
Etihad.
beaten. Even Deji's
But you
beaten
have a
City.
chance this season though. We don't win at the Etihad.
Deji always beats City.
We're bottom. We're like bottom half of the table, and we
Except
went to
when
the
you
Etihad
needed
and
it,
we
to be
won.
fair.
I'm just saying.
When was the last time Chelsea beat Arsenal, by the way?
That's actually a great question. When's actually
Oh,
Marshall.
Lukaku. Yeah, that was the Lukaku season.
Like second
Yeah, it was
game of the
21-22.
Two,
is when it was.
season. Season.
3 years ago, maybe.
Surely it hasn't been that long. Are you guys
It's
being
been that
serious?
long.
It has.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
You actually
It's
haven't
been that
beaten
long
them
for
in 3
everyone.
years?
No one's beaten us in several years.
Yeah, it's been a while, Hussam.
When was the last time we lost to
Chelsea
a big
been in the mud
16
for
in the
some
league?
time now.
See,
What?
this is one of the sound effects I hate because it's like 300 seconds.
It goes forever. Yeah.
No, it
Background
goes
noise.
forever, especially when you're trying to talk over it. It's really rough.
Yeah.
We haven't lost to a Big Six side in 18 games or something like that. It's like some.
I'm trying to think. Is it actually since Lukaku? There is no way it's that long ago.
It is that long ago.
Yep.
And that was
Lukaku scored
when
against
we
Arsenal?
started.
Who was
That,
it?
I remember
Emirates.
that.
Or
That was
Pablo
when
Mari?
we
Remember?
I can't
Hussam at
remember
the
who it
Emirates.
was.
It was like first or second game of the season.
correct. Yeah, and that was
Right
when we
after-
Oh,
started
you're talking about the game where
relegation
Reece James scored?
Reece
That's how
James
long
scored.
ago it
Yes.
was.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's
Yes.
such a long time ago. Oh my
Pablo
god.
Mari and Rob Holding, I think, was that.
Yeah.
Bro,
Lukaku made Pablo Mari retire pretty much. I haven't heard of him
Okay,
since.
so for us, we got to go to Chelsea away, we got to go to Villa away, we got to go to City away, we got to go to Fulham away, and Everton away. I'm not making up tough fixtures. That's the reality. So now you're only 6 points behind me. You get me? Why are you so dramatic, TJ? Have you
You have a
noticed how
game in hand,
dramatic?
though.
not dramatic. I'm not dramatic. I'm being realistic.
6 points. Can you get it together? Like it's 6 points.
Of anybody on the internet, I'm keeping my expectations low, and I'm having to say this on the Leopard in a Tree channel. Like this is absolutely ridiculous.
Leopard on
The,
the
Leopard
the,
Nation Rise in the chat.
the hypocrisy knows no bounds, Hussam. The hypocrisy
Leopard
knows
Nation
no
Rise in the chat.
bounds. Yeah, okay. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
we're the
I
only
mean-
team that's managed to lose the title to no one. Like
Yep.
Liverpool is
True.
not even in the title race. But I think the funny thing is about this season is that those fixtures you listed, they sound like absolutely crap teams. But this year, in upside down world, you've got Fulham and Forest, and when Everton was its resurgent, you've got to worry about where it's like Man United and Tottenham are at the bottom, just playing footsies with each other. So I don't really know what to expect about it this season. I just know that it's not over yet. Liverpool can still throw it away. It was only a couple of weeks ago where Hussam was like, if we lose this game, it's over.
though.
My PTSD is going to kick in and we're out of this title race. So I don't know. We can make them panic. They need to have some injuries, and I don't want to wish injuries on anyone, but we're sitting here with half an attack making ourselves look
Did
like
you hear
idiots.
what Martin just said? You're still in it, Mr. Drama.
Yeah, don't give up, TJ. I mean, I know you gave up several years ago.
TJ, I'm
I
not
mean, you
even
are
joking.
technically
It's
still in it.
genuinely.
I'm supposed to believe that we are going to make a title charge with Trossard starting every game on the left and Kai Havertz in the ninth. That's what I'm
That's
being
where Raheem
sold.
Sterling comes in. That's the
Believe-
Raheem dream
Who?
plan.
Who?
Yeah, Raheem Sterling's gonna
I
come
don't
in
even
and
know who
save your
that. I don't even
season.
know who that is. See, here's the
He's a
funny
player
part
on your
about that
bench.
is that Martin
Fraud.
didn't even. No, here's the funny part about that, Marshall. Martin in his head started Tierney on the wing before Sterling. Like that's how bad he's been.
Yeah, we both did
I
actually.
was
That's
trying
how
to give
bad
you guys
he's
bad examples, but I should have used Raheem if I really wanted to make it sound
Yeah.
like we're in dire straits. You're right.
Yeah, just
I mean, in all reality, though, like, yeah, you're still mathematically in it. However, the likelihood is a lot harder now because no Saka, right? Not that you've been needing him for the recent results, but
I think we've been
at
doing
some
good
point,
without Saka. It was the other injuries that just piled on top of it.
But at some point, like we got to start addressing the Odegaard performances, right? At some point, you got to start addressing the Kai Havertz performances and the lack of clinicality there. It's gonna catch up to you guys at some point. But in the same token, Martin did say it, not to wish injury on Liverpool. For the most part, of all the teams in that title, in the top four, I think they've suffered the least amount of injuries. So who's to say that maybe something may happen? Yeah, I don't think you guys have had many injuries.
Forest haven't had injuries. Forest only injury was Danilo this season, I think.
I think
They're
they've had
midfielder.
injuries. I'm pretty sure. I'll look into
No,
it.
no. Ilanga's been fit all year. Hudson-Odoi, Wood, all these guys have been there. I think it's just thingy. It was Danilo, the midfielder they bought. That's it. Thing is, but I'll tell you this about the injuries thing. Last season, I was Arsenal, and no one showed me the same energy. So why should I?
Well,
Last season,
Are you kidding me? You guys got celebrated to the high heavens that you played a couple of youth players and made it far in the FA Cup.
but we won something. That's
They
we got
won a
celebrated.
Cup, though.
But I'm
Of course
talking
they
about
did.
the title race. I'm talking about like in terms of the race. We had even more injuries than you have right now last season, and we were robbed even more than
we
you
gave
were.
you sympathy. Pochettino.
No, you
came
did
out
not. You
and
guys are
he
full
saw
of
the
bullshit.
puddle that you were going to walk into.
I
and
met
just
you
laid
long
on
ago,
top of it so
Mr.
you could
Marshall. You
just
didn't give
walk
me no
over him.
sympathy. You didn't give me no fucking sympathy, Marshall.
Yeah,
You liar.
what do you mean?
You and sympathy
we
in the same
decided to
sentence.
defend against your youngsters.
You and sympathy in the
Pochettino
same
did that.
sentence. I'm not. Don't let Martin's
Punch
frontiness get to
out.
you. No one's talking about the Carabao Cup. Okay, we're not talking about the Carabao Cup. We're talking about the title race.
Yeah. You're right.
I had even more red cards go against me last season that were received.
Oh, okay, no, you did
More
not.
PGMOL apologies.
No, you
I
didn't.
had the Doku switching music on McAllister.
Get the violin out.
Oh,
Get
here
the
we go.
violin out
Odegaard
now.
is playing
Get the
NBA.
violin out. But your fan base are doing it this year. Your fan
You're
base
allowed
are
to
doing
do
it
it.
this
We're
year.
not. I don't know. What is this?
Yeah, you are doing it this year.
What?
I was you last season. No one gave
Did
me
you get a
sympathy. Why
player
should I
sent
give you
off for
sympathy?
time wasting, or like heading ball, trying to head a ball, or what was the other stuff that we had to have?
Jota got sent off for tackling the floor.
When you put it that way.
We didn't get a penalty when Doku took McAllister's head off.
A
correct goal was not given.
Wolves and got sent off.
Like
A correct
Seamus,
goal
what are
was
we
not
doing
given and an audio was released. Well done, lads.
Are we
Good
really
post.
going to do who's gotten screwed over by the PGMOL?
Yeah,
more?
for real. What
Like,
are we doing
they
here? Oh, like
Like,
I
what are we
got
doing?
Because they're
referee board.
mentioning luck.
Oh, I have
They're
5
mentioning
cases
luck.
where
I'm
I
gonna
got
start an
hurt by the
Excel sheet for all
referee.
these.
I have 6 cases where I got hurt by the
Okay,
referee.
guys,
What are we
let's
doing
take this
A
back.
Man
to
United
steps.
fan complaining about refs.
Okay, guys,
right
let's
now.
take
I
this
don't
back
Listen,
to
hey, it
steps.
ain't my fault. The linesman
They
called the
mentioned
goal.
luck, not me. They mentioned luck. So I said last season I was in a worse scenario than you, and no one showed me this energy. So why should I show you this energy this year?
Did
That's
anyone
what I'm
call you
saying.
butlers? Did anyone call you title butlers?
Yes, I called us title butlers.
Everyone thinks that
My
Arsenal was top of the league last season. You know how we've been called like the champions in waiting, when even though you guys were top of the league the most last season?
Who the heck
No,
calls you
I
guys
did
champions
say
in
you know
waiting?
this already. I've already said we bottled
That's
it
what
last
they
season.
call us.
Yeah, but I said we bottled it last season. I have no problem saying that. I've
You
said it
did,
before.
fell
but no
apart in
one,
the
no one
end.
recognizes that. The pressure's still on my club.
Well,
They're still-
I think it's because no one expected them to be in the title race last season after the season they had before that, right?
Yeah,
Where
we finished
they
fifth.
you guys capitulated most of the season, then
But
made a
wasn't
comeback to
the
finish fifth.
anomaly rather than the? I mean, they were always at the top under.
That was,
Klopp
yeah, that
most
was
of
the
it.
exception. Yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah,
Whatever,
they
I'll
made
take
a
the
they made a
pressure.
charge, and the wheels on the bus started to fall off, and then
I
eventually
mean, it's better to
what?
have it's better to be supporting the club with the pressure than without, because then you're
Oh yeah, you guys had all the pressure.
then you're
You were
like
supposed to do something.
Marshall or Sheik, and you have no hope. Like Marshall's at least going to get into Europe. Sheik, He might get into Europe with an FA Cup.
I might win
they
a
might
trophy
scam
this
another
season,
FA Cup.
unlike
I'm
you
not gonna
guys.
lie.
Yeah.
Is
My team
Marshall
doesn't have
going to
to go
get
to-
to Europe? I'm not sure of that.
Well, I
Yeah.
already am, but I mean, if listen,
If he
I
wins
think
the
he will.
conference
wait,
league.
hold on. I just 1 second, Hussam.
We're
Do you
talking about
think-
Champions League here.
Okay,
Technically,
Champions
we
League.
said
Okay,
Europe.
never mind.
Technically, we
Yeah, you said
I
Europe.
said
That's
Europe.
why I was like, you don't
Yeah,
think
so
I'm
he
going to
could
win the Conference League?
Yeah, he could win the Conference League.
Yeah, but
He'll
when
still
you
be in
say
Europa
Europe,
League.
TJ, obviously you're talking about Champions League, right?
Well, when I say Europe, I mean Europe, like
Yeah.
Europa League and Conference League.
Europa.
Yeah, but then
Or-
they're going to get Europe even if they finish 8th. They're going to get Conference League.
Just
Wait,
saying.
Why are we talking about it if I'm going to get Conference League?
Sheik's-
Obviously Europa or UCL.
Sheik's staying
Europa
home.
or
Sheik doesn't need a passport next season. Like, what are we talking about here?
I could stay at
That-
home, which
That's
honestly
That's better.
we could.
That's better for him.
It,
That's
it-
better
yeah,
for him.
it is better for us in this situation, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
so shit
that's
right
true.
now. They don't need to travel.
We'll get on United, but I mean, it's a shame that Chelsea might have a better chance of winning a trophy than Arsenal. You guys needed a trophy to at least,
Come on.
Here's the thing. I don't think Arteta's getting sacked, even if you guys don't win the title race this season. I genuinely don't think it's going to
TJ's
happen.
year. Don't make me cry.
No, he won't.
I'm sorry, TJ. He's not going to get sacked.
I'm real
Yeah, I
about
don't
this. I'm
think
not
he
going to
gets
cry.
sacked
It's
either.
just the way
Yeah.
I think he
it's
should,
the way it
but
is.
He won't.
He probably should, but the fact that they just gave him a new contract and listen, like I said before, unless an anomaly happens where Hussam, would you say Gravenberch would be like the key to your success? Or would it be like it's a combination, really? It's Salah, Gravenberch, Van Dijk, like that spine. Unless it's
Slot,
somehow
because he deserves a lot of credit.
yeah, slot for sure. Unless that falls apart, I just don't see how Liverpool capitulate. They might drop a point here or there, but that's on you guys to capitalize. And the likeliness of you guys capitalizing is very hard, considering you've been getting the goal output. But I think they've been. I'm so sorry. I just think they've been intangibles. Like exceptions. Like I don't think you guys are gonna continue to output this many goals.
No, it kind of feels like we're in a cartoon and we're running across running across a cliff, and then we keep going. We run out of steps, but we haven't realized that we're supposed to fall yet. So we're just gonna. By the time we get to Liverpool, we'll be
It's
so
like
out
the
of
Roadrunner
steam.
cartoon, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have like a Butler Ola Deji as striker, and I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll be playing like left backs as wingers and stuff. So
I will say
I think
though,
our only chance is going to Anfield and beating those guys, and then also getting 2 other good results along the way.
I will say though,
they suffer.
what good has come of this is that the rise of Nwaneri and MLS has been very, very pivotal to you guys, and honestly, that's likely the biggest reasons you guys are still in this conversation. A lot of responsibility fell on them, and they've stepped up, which is good for you guys. I wish I had youngsters that would step up as well, but hey, that's a different discussion. But yeah, no, these
I don't
guys are
think
keeping you
anyone
in it.
celebrated that for like a second, because we know that we should have been spending $100 million instead of going like, "Oh, look at what we found in our academy." And
Yeah,
we've
but
saved ourselves.
all of us,
It's true.
all of us
This is
here.
true. This is
I'm
true.
sure all of us here knew that January, none of our teams were going to do anything. January is usually a dead window, anyways.
I
Remember last
wouldn't say
season?
that.
Well, when there
I
was
really
a
wouldn't say
glaring
that.
need, though. That's
Can I tell you why I
You'd be
genuinely wouldn't
fine
say
in
that?
January.
As soon as
Why?
Saka got injured, I fully believed no.
Oh
banter.
yeah, that's a good point.
I genuinely deep down. If you
But then
told
when
me,
Yeri stepped up,
yeah, you have to bet on one guy, one team signing someone, I would have said Arsenal. All
yeah, I
along.
could see that. That's fair.
Speaking of, you get me, Arsenal, North London rival is here.
Oh
You get
no.
me? Highland for life is in the
Oh, this is
building.
awesome.
Okay. Deji is here, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Deji?
I'm good. I mean, we got brothers saying, "Oh
You're
no."
not good.
What do you mean? Oh no, I'm here.
It's too early in the morning for this, Deji. It's too early in the morning for this.
Apologies for my late arrival.
Big up, Deji.
Big up,
Yeah.
Deji.
Big up. Good to
Big up,
see
Deji,
you all.
That rap
And,
concert yesterday was special. Was it yesterday? No, it's 2 days ago.
I just got to
We
do what I
wanted
got to do to get this fraudster out of my club. And if I have to sing, and I don't sing, I'm not an artist by any stretch. But if I have to pull a couple of words together so that it can get to the right people, then I'm going to do what I need to do for my club, because where we are right now, I like to go on shows with chest. I like to go on shows and to represent my club in the right way. And for me to have to be looking at the floorboards, you know what I mean? I'm having to reply to Sam on WhatsApp. How are you, sir? I hope you're having a good day. Can I get you something to eat? I don't like that.
Speaking of, let's move on to Spurs. Actually, perfect segue here. Let me just do the couple of these super chats and we'll move on to Tottenham. Big up to Ed who says Colombian president wants to legalize cocaine worldwide. It's time, Hussam. It's time to make a trip to your friends in Colombia. Why should I make the trip? Like, do I look like a drug dealer to you, Ed? You fucking cantaloupe merchant. This guy's a real farmer, by the way. Like, he's an actual farmer. Fucking farming cantaloupes and shit, sending me pictures. It's called melon, not cantaloupe. Educate yourself, Ed. God. Imagine Arsenal draw or lose to Leicester. If they go to Dubai and their first game back is fucking Leicester and they drop points, bro. At that point, I don't know, like you could go to like Ibiza and it wouldn't solve your problem. Like it's just
we won't drop points against Leicester. We won't.
It's to be fair, you've been better against the bigger teams than you have been the smaller teams this year. You can't even deny that.
No, I can't. I can't deny it. But Leicester are garbage. They are bad.
They are. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Just because of TJ's stake, can I have it? Oh my God, please.
Which one? What are you talking about?
Oh my God!
You know, personally, I think I've been pretty solid this show so far, but we'll see. Deji always seems to bring something out of me, so let's
Deji's treble's on the line right now, man.
Treble my ass. Anyway, listen, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. We do have 100 likes right now. Let's try to push that to 150 to 100 likes. Big up to BIG who says Tottenham are a joke. I learned we are the champion on a piano the night before the 2000 Champions League final. Hashtag we love Sissoko. At least Ainge won a man of the match over Klopp. Damn, some bad memories, you know, we can bring up to the audience. Anyway, let's not go there. You got me. 400 people in the building, as I said. Let's get the likes up. Deji, Ainge, Spurs, talk to me. What's going on to your club?
Yeah, look. So I figured these last couple of days that Postecoglou is a James Bond fan. His favorite show or his favorite movie is Casino Royale. I think Ange Postecoglou I think he is a representative of Bet365, and I really do think he's a gambler. He has no clue. And when people were talking about Postecoglou has no clue, I thought that was really, really harsh. But the truth is, he plays Russian roulette football. We're gonna go gun ho. Sometimes it's gonna work. More times it's not gonna work, and that's what we've been seeing with Spurs. When you're playing minnow leagues, that works. When you're playing in the best league in world football, that doesn't work. And I have to say, rightly or wrongly, I think you make your own luck. Liverpool has been so good this season that their players can go around making red card offences and still be on the pitch. And that's because they've been that good. And so you get a rub of the green. Spurs have been that bad that when a player comes on, he's got to come off because he's injured again. And he's there, head in his hands. Oh, we're so unlucky. The truth is, I was just having a debate with one of my good friends just now. There is no proof whatsoever that even if we had our strongest lineup, we would be better off. I'm not convinced by that. No way. No one can tell me that crap. I think Postecoglou is a madman. And the only thing that was acceptable to me was, you know what? He's forfeited the league for whatever reason, and he's gone for the cups. Now, this guy is a clown. We've got knocked out by Liverpool. We're going to get knocked out probably by Aston Villa tomorrow, unless a miracle happens. And he wants to hide behind the fact that we've got injuries. Yes, we've got injuries, but why do we have injuries? Because when you had an opportunity to rotate the team, you didn't. Look at the mad. Let me just give you a couple of madness things this brother's done. We've had Jed Spence. I've been banging on about Jed Spence for over a year now. TJ can vouch for that.
True.
He refused to play this brother until we had to play him. And he turns out he's half decent. How about that? Yeah?
Well, Conte made everyone think
The
it was
weird
crap,
one.
but
Yeah,
I wanna ask you
Conte's the
quickly-
one that put him out on the island. To be fair,
I want to ask you
But
quickly.
there
Do
was
you
no
think
reason. Yeah, go on.
do you think Postecoglou actually went for it against Liverpool, or did he try and defend the lead that you guys had until it was too late? Because you guys never really like.
He defended
Played
at the
well.
start, definitely.
Yeah, he went
Definitely he
to defend.
defended.
He went to defend. But
Yeah.
again, like even on my stream, my watch along, when I saw the midfield three, I said this midfield three, every time they've played, which is only a couple of times this season together, it's been rubbish. So why would he do that? The other thing that I think he's done this season, and it doesn't allow me to give this kid a chance. Archie Gray. What's going on with Archie Gray? Is it his long lost child? Has he got to play every game? Has he got to always have a position? Right back, left back, centre back, in goal,
And accelerate his
striker,
development,
left wing.
man.
What the hell? Like why? So for me, then I said to someone said to me, my mate just now said, I said to him, if one of the big things about Postecoglou is his inability to man manage. Look at Liverpool. They ain't got injuries because they got slots just freshen things up. Curtis Jones can come on, McAllister. Granted, we don't have that level of quality on the bench, but when you know you don't have quality, why don't you manage more? And I look back at the Chelsea game. We brought in straight from injury Van der Ven and Romero. Why? If we normally lose to Chelsea, why bring them back only to lose them for the next 15 games? That don't make no bloody sense. I'd rather take the L against Chelsea, help them for the next 12 games. Maybe things aren't so bad. So for me, it's been a series of unfortunate events. It's just been a calamity show. Like, it's just dumb. I just don't get it with him. Kids are supposed to be eased in. All of a sudden, you're telling me that the kids, you're throwing them in to do what? I don't think Archie Gray has learned a single thing this season. What he's learned is that he is a utility man. If you need me, I'll do it, sir. That's it. He's a number 6.
And he wasn't cheap either, right? Like he was 40 mil.
He wasn't
Like,
cheap, 45 mil to do what?
no,
Just to be a utility man.
Getting your money's
Soon he'll be
worth.
playing in goal.
he should be in midfield. He should be in midfield with Bergwall. And I heard Ange, and I don't normally hear Ange talking about injuries as an excuse, but when he said that Odegaard was missing, I was like, well, he's a nobody anyway. Like, I don't know.
He's a nobody, bro.
And you guys were like sick of you, doggy. You were complaining about Vicario. Like, there was issues with Romero and Van der Ven. Like, all these people that he was saying are missing is not the reason that they're playing like that.
It's not the reason. Even Son's been rubbish this season, yeah? He's been rubbish by his own standards. So why would you start him against Liverpool in a semi? But my last thing before we start to debate this. Look, nobody, if you lose your back five, you're not expecting to go to Anfield and to win. We were not expecting to win. But what I want, minimum, even like I have my kids' team. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm standing on the side watching them play. And what do I expect? I expect them to work hard, to have fun, and to play football. I'm looking at my team. They are passive. This looked like, I think I remember saying, I said, this looked like a preseason match for Liverpool for a semi-final of a cup. And I've seen that. If that was the first time this season, I would have said, you know what? It's one of those things. But I've seen it several times this season. Since the Brighton game, how can you be 2-0 up and not fired up to kill the game off in the second half? How can you go to Palace, who ain't won a game all season, and take an L, quite granted? How can you play Ipswich at home and happily get beaten? Like, I've seen it too many times. So I know what's going on with the Spurs fan base. We are like, who are we going to bring in? We've done under Conte, we've done under Mourinho. They do all this noise. So we've got to give this guy a chance. I'm saying you're going to give this guy a chance at our peril. I'm not so entitled and proud to tell you guys that I'm not scared of being relegated. I'm scared. I can't see where Spurs get 13 points. I cannot see it. I cannot see it, bruv. So for me, the longer we keep him in, the more we are heading out of the Prem. And the only thing keeping him a job was the cups. And we're starting to lose them one by one. Because if Aston Villa slap us up tomorrow, all of a sudden, the reason why we held on, it's no longer relevant no more. We're bloody out the two. And that's it, man.
Deji, I wanted to ask. So I mean, it's a very
look at that
simple
schedule.
question. When do you think Daniel Levy pulls the trigger?
I think
After Villa.
he has to pull the trigger after the Villa game. The problem is,
Do you think he will, though? I don't think he will.
Postecoglou has a legit argument. He's like, look, guys, this injury crisis is unprecedented, which is what he's saying.
Hold on, Deji. Deji.
Yeah.
Come on now. You could say that, but I think you, just like me last season, I think you believe that a lot of these injuries are coming from just the way you guys play and the way you guys train under Ange.
I think so.
It's his own fault.
I think it's his fault, but he's trying to blag us all because what he does in the press conferences is goes, "Oh, look, Richarlison came off and he got injured again, and this is just the story of our season." That's what he's doing. Which, if you got any sympathy or compassion, you can be like, "Well, that's a legitimate point." And the thing I was arguing with my friend about just a moment ago is, but what happens when the full team come and nothing changes? Then we would have wasted all of that time. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I can see Spurs giving Ange to the end of the season.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
I think it's going to happen.
Crazy.
To be honest.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I don't see. I don't really.
They listen to us YouTubers. I really do. I really do think they listen.
I think Levy listens to you guys. If you boo Levy in the stadium, he goes out and like buys you a player or like a new manager or something. He doesn't like the heat being on him directly. Yeah. And if Ange is still a useful idiot by keeping him there and him being the target for their hatred, I think he'll stay.
Martin, I thought you liked Ange. You're going heavy criticism on him today.
No, I don't think anyone can beat the Spurs curse. He was never manager of my team. He was manager of Australia for a while, and there's some sort of national pride there. But
that's when he won the Asian Cup, right?
And the Asian Cup, yeah, we got us qualified for the World Cup a couple of times. But he just was so stubborn about the way he plays, and he doesn't seem to have any kind of self-awareness when he's saying these things like, "Oh, I always win a trophy in the second season," and you heard me, I didn't stutter. Like that's his attitude. So you got to die on your sword when you're like that. Like coming out and saying you're definitely going to win a trophy in the hardest league in the world, like big bollocks. But I don't think the players believe him anymore. Judging by the way that they were playing against Liverpool, I don't think they could believe.
I think you're on the money. That is the big thing for me. So that's why I keep saying it's not about losing to Liverpool. That's not what bothers me. It's the manner. And I don't think these guys are playing for him. I think they think he's crazy. And I've said that, and people are like, it's injuries. Stop, you're waffling, Dej. And I'm like, really? Are you really injured? Did that look like a team that was fighting for their manager on Thursday? Does that even look like a team that was fighting for their manager?
No, I can see it.
Team, you can see it. You can see it. Even with so for me, it's like, I don't know what Levy is. Look, I understand there's no one. We ain't going to get anyone now. But.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's probably why you want to wait until the end of the season, right? Because you got to hope that you stay in. Obviously, no shot. You're still in the trophies. You're still in Europa. You're still in FA Cup.
For now, 24 hours to go.
Yeah, the chances of you guys winning it are slim, especially when you have like steep competition like Liverpool in it still, But it's like you just gotta hope that you can survive. You're 10 points off relegation, which is nicer than what you were 2 weeks ago, where it was like a lot more realistic. But you gotta just hope you survive not getting relegated, and then in the summer maybe go for a McKenna or because a huge profile. I don't think a huge profile is gonna come to Spurs. It's just I don't know how Levy would attract even a big profile, but McKenna seems like someone that he was linked to United last season. He was linked to Chelsea last season. There is a good manager there in Ipswich, but the quality is just not there.
So you're right. But the thing is, and my friend, he did say this, Marlon, big up to Marlon. He said, and it's true, and I'm going to the United game next week. In the stands, they're quite patient with Ange. They're quite happy to see.
Really?
I think the Spurs fans are content with this is just a bad season. This is just a rebuild season. let's give him to the beginning of next. And I'm like,
Oh
really?
my god.
Wow.
Honestly, that is
Wow.
the feeling
That's
in the crowd.
crazy.
So for
So
me,
the videos I've seen is like
I'm being
calling him
made
a
to look like I'm
fat
just
C-word
shouting
and all
for no
that.
reason.
Yeah,
They're
internet's a wild
willing
thing.
to
That's
give him
surprising.
the first 10 games of next season.
That's
I think
crazy.
I think he's
Yeah,
a
that's
fraud.
surprising.
I think.
I mean,
he's
I
a
get
fraud.
you're exhausted of the revolving door, but still, like, this is really bad.
Well, now you go and bought players like Tell, where perhaps he might not succeed, and then you're left with maybe an obligation to buy of 50 million. Like, it seems like Levy tries to fix the problem with band-aids, but then I don't know if Ange goes, and you've probably got to buy a bunch of whole more players again, like on the next guy.
But
We
you know
have
what?
to.
Yeah,
Ange
for
is
the
a
next
really
manager.
smart. Ange is a really smart man, and it's crazy because whether we like it or not, his charisma has seemed to have just got Levy in a spin. So he said something a couple of press conferences ago. He said, "You know what? With the talent that we have, when they're not injured, I hope I'm around to work with this talent." That's what he said. He said, "I hope I'm around because if you give me this talent pool, I can do something crazy." You know, when you drop a nugget like that, because what Daniel Levy doesn't want is the criticism that every fan base gave to him when he got rid of Mourinho before final, which is, you donut. You got rid of a cup winner before final, despite the fact that we were in the mud. I actually agreed with him cutting Mourinho at that point because we were so dusty that we were always going to lose that final. But that rhetoric came in. But it's Mourinho. He would have done something. No, there's no evidence of that. We're not sure, but it lands. So Levy's heard that. That's why he has to give. Now he's done this. He said with Matthias Tell, give me a chance to work with this guy. See what I do. That's what he said. He literally said that after the game on Thursday. Give me a chance with this guy.
See how I make him shit.
Yeah.
So now he's
while sitting in relegation.
You got to call his bluff. You got to call his bluff.
He said that about Solanke too, right? I mean, you guys.
Oh damn. So yeah, so that's what
Kulusevski I've respected, and I think he's one of your best players. But watching him walk around and lose the ball against Liverpool is hard to watch. I don't know.
Who?
Yeah.
Kulusevski, I think like he was your like last shining like star, the guy that was actually just dragging you guys through games, and I think he's given up now. So if you guys don't beat Villa, I mean maybe
the last one holding
the
Ange sword.
Look, I know that Postecoglou watches these. They pretend, but they do see it. How can you not? They see these channels. Like,
hello, Ange.
Hello, mate.
They probably like to subscribe on Don's
channel.
You know what I mean? They're subscribing. Some of them, they're probably people who you wouldn't have believed who they are. Let me just say, the big issue I am having with Ange.
You know, someone told me before, just to interrupt Deji, that's how I know, like, Deji is not even crazy. You want to know why? Someone actively told me before that I completely trust that Klopp was listening to one of my spaces once. I know that this shit happens. Like, I fully know that sometimes, like, they come across some of us at some point.
Big up Ange.
But just like people just scroll down through TikTok and scroll down on Twitter and stuff like this. They see these things every now and then. They actually do. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I was fully told that, and like he was listening to it on a burner account or something like that. So like, hey, listen, it could be that Deji's not crazy. Like, maybe he does listen to like some of the shit.
When you're on your channels, just put out a couple of recommendations. Things like, we need Postecoglou to adapt. Or things like, why don't you play Jed Spence? Or why hasn't Reguilon come on the pitch? And then you see Reguilon is in the squad. Then you see Reguilon is on the pitch. We were the ones I know personally, I called out for Kulusevski to be played in the 10 ahead of Maddis. I know I called that out. And the first game it happened, I was there, which was away to West Ham last season, where he first played Kulu in the 10. So I know something is happening out there somewhere. I'm not saying it's me, but they pick up on it. What I take issue with is, why would you play Kulu on the right wing when his best position is the 10? Why are you playing Archie Gray? Archie Gray, that first goal Gakpo scores, he's not tight on Gakpo because that's not his. It's a foreign position. Like, what the hell are we doing, guys? Like, this is obvious. That's why I'm asking now. I'm putting the bolt out. The power of YouTube, the power of the panel here today. I would like the Spurs job on a pay-as-you-go basis. If I lose, don't pay me. What difference does it make? Because these guys, I honestly, I can't understand the madness. I can't understand it. Why is Son starting? He's crap. He's been rubbish. You say he's tired. Rest him then. Rest him. Yeah? Don't play that midfield free. Put Pedro Porro right wing. Put Jed Spence right back. Let's see what happens. Come on, it's not hard.
What's Andrew's team like there? Like, is there someone? I mean, maybe you could get on Andrew's team as like the ear to the ground guy or the vibes, so that he can get an idea. Because Andrew famously said that he doesn't actually talk to his players very much. He doesn't show up at the training area very much. He's very like off and aloof, and it was fine when he was winning every game, and it just looks like he's some kind of wizard. But now it's kind of like, well, we've seen behind the curtain. You're wearing like board shorts and
hot dogs are being made.
You can tell though, those players, like for me, you can tell he hasn't got a relationship, and that's why I laugh at Arsenal fans, and sometimes when they get irate about Arteta. But the one thing Arteta ensures is that Arsenal turn up, win, lose or draw. Those players fight. Yeah, they might not get the result, he might not get it right, but they don't just sit there and get slapped. And it's happened too many times on the Brighton one. I said it again. It's very simple. You say to the players 2-0 up at halftime, lads, we're 2-0 up. Make sure there isn't an early goal or get an early goal. That's it. We know this. We know the script for this movie. So what how are these guys turning up in the second half of games against Liverpool? You're only what was the score at halftime? Was it 1-0?
Yes.
It was. You're still in it, boys.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Go out there. If we're gonna go down, we go down fighting. No, like little mice. What's that?
Thing is, like I saw what you're writing in the chat as well with Iraola and stuff like this. You could get Iraola, and everyone knows.
You think he would go there?
Yeah,
money.
Stop. Don't do the whole. You think you go there like as if he's managing Real Madrid? He's managing fucking Bournemouth. Like obviously he'll go there.
To be fair, I've seen Amram go to United, but that's another discussion.
Exactly. But let me just say this. Look, I am a fan of Iraola. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think he's the next big thing, like from the non-top 6 sides. I'm such a fan of him. But and I never felt this way about De Zerbi or any other manager. And the reason why I say that with Bournemouth is they beat City, they beat Arsenal, they gave us a very tough game, and we had to rely essentially on like a Salah world-class goal to just wrap it up. Like I know he's a phenomenal manager, but I don't know if he goes to Spurs that even he is capable of fixing the mess. And there's a reason why. Iraola is a fantastic coach, as in tactics, ABCs, the way that he plays. He's very smart. He's very intelligent. You could tell he knows what he's doing on the pitch. But the problem at Spurs, and I'm not even going to get into the Lever conversation. The problem at Spurs is an even bigger than just like a high line problem or a managerial problem. I think the issue is there's a mentality issue with the whole football club. Ainge called it out last season when. And listen, fans are fans. I don't care what fans do. But he's saying from within the club, people wanted him to lose a game against City just so Arsenal don't win the league. And I think that's pathetic. And
called it out too, rightfully so.
But like if Deji says, I hope we lose to City so Arsenal win the league, I have no problem with that. He's a fan. But from within the club, it's different. Like what? Someone in the hierarchy came and said, Ainge, can you lose on purpose?
Yeah,
like,
Ainge down tools.
That's absurd.
Yeah, like that's just absolute bullshit, to be honest with you. And Conte called it out. Conte's press conference always goes viral every time Spurs are going through a tough time. He said, like, 20 years with his owner, they win nothing. A historic press conference. And he was like, I saw the managers on the touchline. So he's saying, like, there were elite managers here. Poch gave an interview. I went back, I watched one of the Poch interviews. He was talking about himself and Klopp. And he was like, over there, if they need a washing machine, they get a washing machine. We get a dryer. He was talking about like the players that they signed. And
I am
and I
not
go
the
back
blind
to
one.
the
He's not
Poch
lying.
era, and people won't remember this, but I will remind you right now. People were looking at Spurs and Liverpool. Which team is gonna challenge Manchester City to win a league title? That was the conversation. Spurs built a stadium. Liverpool signed Van Dijk and Alisson, and the rest is history. Like that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
Because no one could tell me that Poch side was not ready to win a league title. It was
Not ready.
fucking ready. Had you given it to Alisson and Van Dijk, it would
Yeah,
also
couple of
won the
signings
league
away.
at the
I have a
time.
question,
Signings
Usam,
away.
in relation to this, right?
Right.
Like you're talking about Iriola as a coach, and Deji, I mean, chip in by all means. Considering how Levy recruits, right? And it's never really like, especially in more recent time, and I'm not saying it's Levy, I know it's someone else, Deji. But considering how they buy and recruit, they've been getting these younger players. You look at Mateus Tell, he's a young profile. You got Bergval, Archie Gray, Mickey Moore. Like there's talent up and coming, right? Don't you think that the next person that comes in should be a coach, someone that can work with the tools that are given to them, because the manager's never going to get what he wants. The manager asked for a left winger, they gave him freaking Timo Werner.
So Iraola doesn't fix it then.
Bro,
I think Iriola would work better.
Well, I mean,
I think
a lot of
Areola-
things would be
Areola-
better than right
Sorry,
now.
go ahead.
I think a lot of managers out there could be better, like performing for Spurs than what they are right now. They're
But like a manager
With
versus
that
like
same-
a
with
Well,
the
I
same
just think
squad, right?
yeah,
With
with
the
the same
same
squad, yes. But then you're
Yeah.
looking at this Spurs right now currently. I think my point is that a lot of managers could do it. The overall issue though is that like to not have Spurs be part of a conversation, so to push them over the line to actually win something and to compete. I think that's what the overall issue is, because right now, like, we could name so many managers who could have them at the top half of the table. That's I mean, technically better than what Spurs are doing right now. So I think a lot of managers could do that, and Iriola to an extent would do that as well. However, I agree with Hussam where it needs its mentality at the club to make that push to start competing and stuff like that. I don't think
Did you see
Also,
Tell
also,
at
you
Anfield?
gotta have the
I
mental,
just think
like,
it's going to
yeah,
be
he
the
was,
same thing. I
you know,
personally
put him up
think it's
against
going to be
Van
the
Dijk
same thing
and-
with the next manager. They're going to go
No,
through
let
the
me tell
same
you-
issues with the
I
next
agree.
manager.
Did you see Tell? Just Deji, before you respond to all of us, Tell at Anfield is the biggest indicator.
Yeah.
Tell comes from Bayern Munich. The culture of winning is in their DNA. Like when you're a Bayern player, you know that you're the best and you have to be the best and you're going to beat everyone's ass up. That's just how it goes when you're playing for Bayern. He comes into Anfield and he sees like a bunch of people behind him, just like, you know, giving up already. And he's like, come here. It's like, attack, come, like help out, press, blah, blah, blah. Because he has that Bayern mentality. But the other Spurs players don't have it because it's not instilled within them. And that's
Won't be
the
long
thing that
until they get
H talks
absorbed
about even in
into
his press conferences. So did Conte, so did Mourinho. Go ahead, Deji, sorry.
Yeah, no,
I just wanted to say
gonna
one. Sorry,
Go
sorry,
on.
just quickly. Like the Levy thing doesn't really hold weight to me anymore, just because the amount of money he spent. Relative, like I know that he's chopped and changed, and he's gone with, you know, what's fashionable, and I think that's probably a bit exhausting for Spurs fan now, because they went for proven managers that were going to win them now. That didn't work out. Now you've gone completely the other direction and gone for stylistic, and then so where you're going to find yourself back and you're trying to find a sweet spot. But I don't think anyone's got the energy to go and start again and delete a whole bunch of the players and whatever. So it's
That's
a
what I'm
bit
saying,
exhausting.
Martin. I think
Yeah, you
a
know what
coach
happened
comes
was-
in and gets the best of what he has instead of asking for players.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that we were lucky with Poch, and I think sometimes sometimes there's an argument about you've got to stay in your lane. Poch was the best thing that happened to Tottenham. Might not have been the best thing for Chelsea. You know, different managers suit certain teams. One thing that is clear, and why Conte said what he said, was you can't spend 15 mil a year on Conte or 20 mil. And then when he asks you for a 100 mil player, you say no. That's when he went, you can't be serious. What do you want me to do? I have a style and I need a certain level of resource. We weren't prepared to do that. So now I said, look, if you're not ready to spend, then you need an Areola. You need a manager that can work with minimal resources and get the best. I don't mind that if that's what you want to do. But we bring in Postecoglou, who isn't quite that. He also needs a certain style of player. Right now, for Postecoglou's system, I reckon Postecoglou does well with Real Madrid. I think he wins La Liga with that system and those players. He does. So, but he's not the guy. That system and style with this squad isn't going to work. It needs someone who's more pragmatic. It needs someone who's more measured, who can balance, who can look at a team, manage, and put a firm structure. There is no firm structure. We don't play with a 6. Who does that? In this day and age, how can you not have a 6? So for me, I just feel like Postecoglou is out of his depth in the Prem. Any other league, that sort of system, if he's at PSG, he wins league, or he definitely wins. Maybe it'll be interesting to see if he took over Ajax with that squad, whether he does something over there, but not in the Prem. But I also feel like with Iriola, we were lucky with Pochettino. We need another Pochettino-esque player. If you ask Bournemouth fans today, they think they've landed gold. How the hell can Bournemouth be literally a point of 4? That is the sort of manager Spurs need. Where he's not going to go and buy 100 million Declan Rice. He's going to take out Kluivert that everybody forgot about. And you know what? I think Iriola turns Brennan Johnson into a beast. That's what we need. We need someone who can take these quite less than average players that we've got at the moment and make them monsters. Semenyo came from bloody Bristol City, mate. Kirkes came from the second division in the Hungarian league. Come on.
You guys need Nuno.
Oh, Nuno.
Yeah.
The ironic
That's
thing,
funny.
the guy that you
That's
guys sacked
very
after
funny.
4 games.
Did you want Nuno
You
sacked?
seen anybody that
Be honest.
can coach a defensive shape? Like that's
Did you want
that's the
Nuno
biggest
sacked?
thing.
Deji, be honest. Be honest. Did you want him sacked?
Did I want him sacked? Bro, not really. I felt like he needed more time, actually. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we were in the mud. But you can't compare Nuno's run and what Postecoglou's done. That's what I don't like. Have the same energy. If you could sack Nuno for what he did, then how is Postecoglou still in the job?
If you sack Mourinho for what he did, why is he still in the job?
Doesn't make sense.
Nuno was sacked because you guys were going to get Conte in the summer, right? And then it was like, it fell through and it's like, okay, Nuno. And then Conte was like, actually, I'll take the job after like 5 games. And it was like, see you, Nuno. We've got Conte.
Right.
Sam, quick question. Did you actually...
What did you want to say, TJ, on Spurs before we move on to United?
No, I'm just essentially agreeing with the panel. Like, look, Ange is out of his depth because I don't think he knows how to coach any sort of defensive shape. You've seen it all season long. Like, you bring in any other coach, like, and I believe Deji when he says, I'm not even joking. You put Deji there. You put Deji in the manager, he can at least coach a defensive shape and show that you can show a little bit of different tactics. The fact that managers like Ange hang on to try to prove a point, and you're kind of seeing that with Amorim too, and that's why a lot of people are calling him into question. Like, this is the Premier League. You need to be able to coach players and to coach different tactics, and those two managers just don't do it. So that's why they're under scrutiny, and that's why you're seeing them. You see Amorim take Man United from 13 to 13th, and Ange take this team from a European squad down to 14th, 15th. So I'm essentially agreeing with the panel.
I'll be honest with you. If Spurs win the Europa League and finish 15th, they should give Ange a statue.
That's crazy, but
I don't necessarily disagree.
I don't think they're going to win the Europa League.
I agree.
Are you fucking mad, TJ? Spurs winning the Europa League with
I don't think they're going to win the Europa League. That's what
no, I don't think they will either. I'm saying if they do.
Oh, if they do, yeah, of course. First European trophy and how long? First trophy
if
since
they do,
2008, of
then
course.
that just shows that he's going like really hard in like Europe and like the cup competitions, and he's basically saying fuck the league.
Same way, like if Arteta wins the Champions League for Arsenal, they should make a statue for him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Even
they'll make it the next
The
season.
next season.
Yeah, if Ange wins the Europa, they should make a statue.
TJ, even you agree with that. If Arteta wins the UCL, then of course it's a different.
Dude, that's all I've ever wanted, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
All I've ever wanted.
The first manager to do that for the
trophies are the currency of football, boys.
Okay, let me just run these.
Did you actually watch Deji's concert the other day? Did you participate in Deji's concert? After the game against you guys, Deji put on like a 5-song rap special.
I actually did it because I did the previews with George, And that fraud was so delusional before the game. I went and I ruined that. He was so delusional. He was like, "Oh, he was doing the Jacob, Angefield, and all that shit."
Oh,
and then after they come with the humble energy after they've been humbled. I'm like, no, don't do the humble thing now. And I said the same thing to Jacob as well. He's like, "Oh," after he said, "Oh, Angefield, talk to me nicely." You know how he talks. Talk to me nicely, baby. I'm like, what? And then after the game, he's like, "We had all these players out. Your bench players literally start for us." I'm like, bro, why didn't you say this pregame then, you fucking fraud? Why did you say this pregame? So I didn't really watch Deji's songs because I was busy cooking, George. And I went and I cooked Jay as well.
Win, yo. It's better than Arsenal Jabo.
Okay,
he was
where is
spitting
it?
bars in there.
Where is it? Let's go.
No, don't do it.
Deji's live stream. I'll get you a link.
If it's no context fan TV, just share the screen and we'll play it right now. Let's fucking go. 200 likes and we'll play it, chat. Big up to all of you guys. 500 people in the building. Let's get the likes up right now. Please do get the likes up. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Also, please do remember all these guys' channels in the description. So go give them a subscribe. I'm just going to do these super chats and then we'll talk about like United and Chelsea for just 15 minutes or so. I don't want to keep the guys for too long. So yeah, big up to all of you guys. Wait. What about your goal scorer from the first leg? He should have seen red before his goal. This was when Deji cheekily mentioned the Van Dijk red card. Earlier on, one of the Spurs fans was like, it wasn't a red. And he's a Spurs fan. So just saying.
Yeah, I felt that, Van Dijk leaned in and got the elbow. But what I won't do is I won't cry about it because I feel like Liverpool have been so good this season. And when you're good, you get the rub of the green. That's what it is. I feel like Tottenham's bad luck is because we've been so poor. That's what happens when you're rubbish. When you've been rubbish, you get rubbish results. You get rubbish decisions. That's what comes of it. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. So be better is what I've been saying for my club. Have some standard, have some shame. But yeah, in terms of Archie Gray, not Archie Gray, Bergvall being sent off, I think that would have been really, really harsh. The boy's only 18. Do you get what I'm saying? I think it's the right to keep him on, but let's not compare Van Dijk with Bergvall.
First, the best football I've seen, big up to player. Liverpool play. Arne Slot showing even more how washed Klopp the flop was in the last 2 years. The whole were the most entertaining team to watch under Klopp. That is not a good thing. You were using Arteta's you-know-what as Listerine last week when they beat Manchester City 5-1.
Crazy.
If it wasn't for Diaz and Nunes missing one-on-ones in the last two months of the season, would have been league champions. You are the biggest flip-flop I have seen on this entire application. You get me? And I'm glad Ed called you out earlier on because I did see what you were doing in the back again, chat. Doing Arteta prop. And, now you're sitting here talking shit about Klopp. Have some actual shame. Have some actual shame. Big up to my guy, Denzel says, what happened to the kangaroosing high line, mate? Is what Denzel is saying. That was I still remember, you know why I'm not gonna let go. Like I'm not gonna be like nice towards Spurs because I remember how they moved in the first 10 games of last season. I remember how
October champs.
October champions.
No, forget champs. TJ, I'm talking about the disrespect. You did shows with Jacob. You did shows with Deji. You know exactly how they were moving first 10 games. That's why he's smiling. He knows first 10 games of last season. What makes Odegaard better than Maddison? What makes Salah better than Son?
They were calling Declan Rice Spicy Hoiberg. That's what they were doing.
Heard so much, bro.
Spicy Hoiberg. It was the disrespect was absolutely insane. And Deji's laughing because he was doing it.
You remember?
Jacob isn't here because he's out in El Paso, but he was doing it too. He was insane.
Deji had treble prop. He said we clapped the big teams.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then we can clap them. No, it's funny, man. It's
been a disaster. But to be honest, though, what I said is not so wild. It looks.
Oh my god! Here we go.
No, hear me out. For 1 second.
You're in 14th, Jesse.
So once you bring in a new manager, wherever they finish is your baseline, right? That's your baseline, and you expect to improve. So for a manager to come from Celtic and to take Tottenham, who is meant to be shit, they're not very good, and we just missed out on Champions League football, is not to be poo-pooed. That's quite an achievement given the squad and given that he had no Harry Kane. So why wouldn't I?
Yeah, but Deji, the problem is there were 27 games left in the season.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, bro.
And the problem is all the crazy shit that your fan base was saying. I remember doing shows with Jacob, who was complaining about the Van Dijk red card, where he was like, going like, "Shout out Joel Matip" at the end of like, yeah, I remember. So he was celebrating the game where we got robbed, you know, in that game. By the way, factually, we got robbed because red cards were rescinded. And they released VAR audios for the first time ever. Well done, lads. Good process for a Diaz perfectly correct goal. How do you have offside lines and like the ref thought that that it was given? That's why he said, "Well done, lads." Are you fucking dumb? Like, okay, like what the fuck is going on? You get to me. So I remember all that stuff. And now I'm supposed to be like nice to Spurs because like, oh, they're humble now. No, but I remember how you were when you were the villain at the top of the thing. So I'm not gonna be nice. I remember as well the 4-1 against Chelsea, the way that they behaved. That's like, we played our way. Yes, we lost. But it was, you know, we were the Alamo and all that shit. I remember, bro. I never forget. I never forget.
This time last season, Deji was saying he was going to finish above Arsenal. They were going to win 11 out of their last 12 games. It was going to be. It was going to
Deji, can you please explain to the audience why Liverpool would have been playing Man City this Sunday if the Sheikh would have sneezed?
Yeah, literally. We all know, and this is why. And Hussam, you know, big up to you for always enabling me to be here without any stupid Plymouth fans. The truth is, I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand so-called Man City fans, aka Plymouth. The truth is, those owners of City they closed their eyes and said, we want to own a team in the Premier League. We can't own Chelsea because they've got a sugar daddy. We can't own Manchester United because they've got who they've got. We can't take Newcastle because we're not really feeling that. Tottenham got Daniel Levy, he's a madman. Arsenal got the Cronkies, we're not taking them out. So let's just hold on. We can't make up our mind. Let's close our eyes. They closed their eyes and they pointed at the mat and it happened. Oh, Manchester, who's there? Oh, City. But had he sneezed, it would have been Plymouth. And that's why I never called them Man City. I called them Plymouth, and they should be playing Liverpool tomorrow. It should have been them. Then you don't get the likes of LB. You don't get the likes of Baps. You don't get any of these cronies making a living on YouTube. Shut your mouth. You shouldn't be here.
There goes your explanation, Milatpar. Big up to BIG who says, I needed a telescope to tell that Tell was playing. I actually felt so bad for the kid. I swear to you, I actually felt so bad for him.
He chose his destiny.
He
chose his destiny, but what was his other destiny? Man United? Like, that's better. Like, that's a better destiny. That's just as shit as a destiny as well. Like, you get to be like,
he could have stayed at Bayern. He could have chose Chelsea.
Tell dreamt of winning the
I don't like comments like that because give the brother a chance. He's just got it, for crying out loud. He's 19.
Obviously.
He got thrown at Anfield.
Against the best team in world football in their stadium. Let's put some respect on Liverpool.
Exactly.
And say, you know what? It can only go up from here because he's not going to get a rougher time than that, is he?
No.
Yeah.
Sam, don't forget Ryan was saying how he doesn't really trust. Yes. Thank you, OR, and how we press and saying McAllister is shit. This is the same guy that messaged me when we had like 2 bad games, Fulham and Newcastle. He messaged me. He's like, I don't trust Klopp's slots tactics with the press, and I think we're doing a lot of stuff that the Klopp is doing. I actually think Arsenal are going to win the league now. That was Ryan like a month ago. And now he's saying Klopp the flop. You're the biggest bullshitter on the internet, Ryan. You're the biggest bullshitter. But anyway, we have video evidence, ladies and gentlemen.
Nothing in the league. We're not doing nothing in the cups. Why are they clapping for? I'm sad right now. Why are they clapping? Why are you standing there, mugs? No shots. No shots.
Great instrumental, by the way.
Nah. Everybody feel the rhythm, because I'm crying inside out. Feel the rhythm. Yeah. Postecoglou, it's time to say goodbye. You caught a fish alive, but you killed my club. Standing there looking out the window like some some sort of mug. You don't know what you're doing because you've got no clue. You make my team, we just play like poo. Yes, you're just whack, whack, whack. Coming over there talking, just crap, crap, crap. You try to blame it on the injuries. I like that. Coming over there, moving the squad round and back. We had Danzo and Archie Gray, but nothing you do is okay. We are rubbish, bro. I need you out of the country tomorrow. I need you on the plane straight to your yard. Come out of my way. And it's not okay. Get on the... I can't even sing anymore. I don't want to sing. I just want to know.
That's phenomenal. No, that was great. That was phenomenal.
Well done, Deji. Well done.
That
was great. That was fucking elite. I can't lie to you guys, man. That was elite.
There's like a whole half hour of that. Like he does Stan from Eminem. You know, he goes
I'm fully gonna watch
track,
I'm fully gonna watch that. I'm fully gonna watch that. Big up. Bars, straight bars is what Gonzo's saying. Yeah, that was elite. That was actually elite right there. Big up to you, Gonzo. Listen, Deji Spurs is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Go give all these guys a subscribe. That was actually quite good. You know, the way that he rhymed all the words together and stuff. It reminded me of like what's it called? Like you guys know all these like battle raps that you watch on YouTube and stuff, where they're just going like off the cuff, like bar after bar after bar. Like that's what I was reminded of, man. That was very good, Deji, man. Well done.
I'm not doing my bit for my club. Get this man out now. But bigger. I know it was dusty in the moment, but you know. It's jokes, but thank you guys. I appreciate it.
That was quite good. That was quite good. Speaking of dusty, Man United and Chelsea, the two dusty clubs. We're gonna end with them. 50 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Guys, let's get the likes up. Come on, all this entertainment. 500 people midday Saturday. Let's get the likes up, guys. Come on, 250 likes is our target. Shik, Leicester Rob. Are you gonna admit it now, or are you gonna be shameless?
I'm not going to admit it. How is it my fault that the linesman didn't call?
Here we go. Already, you're gonna be so disingenuous already.
No,
So you're not gonna admit you robbed Leicester.
Listen, let me just be completely honest. We don't win at home, anyways. Let me just enjoy this win. I don't care. Okay, like we won at home. We don't normally even win at home. I was literally just going to say that we've actually won a home game in such a long time. Sucks that it is in the Premier League and it's the FA Cup. It is whatever. But yeah, linesman didn't want to see another 30 minutes. Let's just be honest. He didn't want to see another 30 minutes of that dreadful
I didn't want to see another 30 minutes.
I don't think anybody did. All of us were praying for a winner in some sort, to be honest. But yeah, I think performance-wise, first half, one of the worst first halves I've seen this season. With Ten Hag, with Amram, like both together, both our managers there. That's one of the worst first halves I've seen. Nothing at all. Leicester City had like that one chance, and they deservedly took that chance and took the lead. And after that, I think second half, again, we always resort to let's wait until Xerxes comes on. Let's wait until he makes changes, and then that's how we can change the game. I hate that we do that, and that's why I'm to start off this. I'm a little bit critical of Ruben Amram lately because this is on you, bro. You're continuing to pick these same players again and again, expecting something to happen, and nothing's going to happen. And that's why games go a certain way. If I look at the lineup and I see that Højlund and Dalot and maybe somebody else is starting, I know how this first half is going to go until we actually do make changes. Because again, it's like you keep continuing to pick the same players. It's all in your hands now at this moment, to be honest. Like the more I'm not Amram out. I'm not Amram doubt. Someone said this in Flawless's chat. I'm Amram accountable because you're now picking all these certain players from time and time again, which are causing these performances. We, like you guys said it, we luckily beat Leicester City. We're lucky that they're Leicester City. If we go and we play against this, even against Deji's team Spurs, yeah, considering what Spurs are going through, it's not going to be like this. We're going to get punished if we play like that. And it could be like what happened in the Carabao Cup when we played them. It could be a high-scoring game where we're just not able to get back into the game. So, yeah, it's concerning for sure, considering the fact that now in the January transfer window, our already thin squad has now gotten even more thinner. We only made the first.
You signed Dorgu.
We only made one. Yeah. Okay. So about Dorgu as well, we signed Dorgu.
Did you see what Amram said?
What did he say?
The reason why I played him right wing back is because it says he can play there on Y Scout.
Oh my god!
That's real.
You fully said.
Was he
That's
joking?
Yes,
not
that
real.
is real.
No way.
What do you mean that's
Oh
not
my
real?
I
I've
thought
not
that was
heard of this
made
at
up.
all. Yeah,
thought
I've
that
not
was
No,
heard
made
of
that's
this.
a real. That's a real
There's
quote.
no way this is real.
You never said
Or was
that.
he taking the piss though?
He
There's
didn't
no
say
way.
that.
There's no way this is real, Hassan. No way.
Here. By the
Don't
way,
tell me you got-
Man United zone, 1.6 million followers. Ruben Amorim on Dorgu. His position you can see on WYS Scout that he can play both sides.
No, I don't.
So he
That's
was a
actually
left back,
wild.
was
I
he?
don't think.
I don't think he
I have
actually
to see the video.
meant that genuinely. That's what the whole reason was. I'll tell you what the reason was. I think he wanted him to do more of an inverted role, and he trusts more Diogo Dalot, which ultimately gets to my point: is why are you picking these players? Dorgo is a left-footed player. Play him on the left side. What is with this whole inverted thing on the right-hand side, which wasn't working at all? Do you guys actually remember that moment where the ball almost went on a play and he kicked it in and he tried to create something from the right-hand side? That tells you all about Dorgo's profile. He's pacey. He's more physicality. You're supposed to utilize his pace. He could play as a winger too. He has that type of profile. So why are you playing him on the right-hand side? I just didn't get it at all, to be honest. And if we had lost, and after the first half, I said this was on Amorim because this is a lineup that you have picked. But then again, we got the win. That's the most important, considering the situation that we're in right now, is that we're still getting results. But the performance is terrible, and it's big concerns for me because we have to go into the Europa League, which so far we have done well with Ruben Amorim, considering we're so unbeaten in the Europa League as well, and I think we finished third. But we have to go with this thin squad that just got more thinner into that Europa League. There's some very good teams in there. Every time we face a Spanish side, it's peak for us. Like, I swear they're just our bogey teams every single time. So we'll see for the rest of the season, but I'm concerned for sure. Like, our squad, you can tell that in a back four system, they played the way that they played last season. In a back three system right now that they have to just learn midway, they're struggling too. So I don't know, man. We look into the summer. There's growing concerns that will he even be here in the summer? Because considering how all things go, if the results get worse, there could be questions about him getting sacked. Now, I don't necessarily think that he should get sacked because I don't know why they even got him in the first place if you're going to end up sacking him mid-season. Basically,
Okay, for all the people
forcing
accusing
him.
me, sorry, Sheik, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is live feed. I can share screen.
You guys to perform at the right level, but the position, and you can see in Y Scout that he played in both sides.
He was
There you
being
go.
serious.
Defending himself.
Does that sound like someone who's joking? You want me to fucking share screen? I will
That's
right
not
now.
AI.
I mean, but
I will
yeah,
fucking
so
share screen right
It's
now.
okay, I believe you.
I would
It's
share
How do you feel
really-
about
screen
the
man
no, no, no.
support.
Yikes.
I can share
I'm
screen right
surprised
now.
for sure, but then again, that's again why I'm going to. There's criticism towards the manager because of who he's selecting in this team. Like, all those type of decisions, like he's favoring Diogo Dalot, who's been absolutely terrible all season, over a new signing. Which, by the way, did you guys hear how he said, "I'm the one who like vetoes all the signings that come into the club, that everything has to go through me," and that was something that they agreed. So you've just got someone in who's a left-footed profile that you wanted to fix for the left-hand side, but you played him on the right-hand side for what reason? So that's why I'm a little bit critical of why the game went a certain way, because you picked these players in these positions, and if you continue to do this, then it's only causing more trouble for you at the club. And that's why I'm like, I hope to see you there in the summer, because I hope to see Ineos back you, and I want to see how this all turns out. But of course, I'm going to criticize for situations like this. This is not the first time either. He did the same thing against Arsenal when we played them in the Premier League, which I thought a game, if we actually had a better lineup, we could have gotten something out of it, considering how Arsenal played.
And you
But he
can
did the same thing.
see in Y Scout that he played in both sides. Sorry.
Is it still fake, Gus? You bitch. Hold that.
That's legit.
How do you
That's
feel
crazy.
about his business? Like, I'm surprised that Amorim, normally a new manager comes in, you're supposed to get the most out of what you guys have, but instead he's kind of just like, he's told Rashford he's useless, get out of here. You know, you guys got rid of Anthony, you guys got rid of Sancho. I was expecting you guys to actually do business in January, but is this Dorgu guy the only guy you guys bought? Was
Yeah,
there
that's
anyone
all.
else?
Well, there
Isn't there
is
like a
that
Heaven or
Arsenal.
something?
Yeah, Aiden Heaven, the center back from the Arsenal. I guess
You guys
we
are
have
counting
him, but
this.
I'm not. See, I didn't mention him because I'm not technically considering him as someone who's going to
Mhm.
be like integrated into the first team. Who knows? Actually, he might, considering what might happen. Because I've been saying this too. Is like, when it comes to different options, now that we haven't really signed anybody other than Dorgu, use the youth squad. What more could you lose in the Premier League? We're already 13th or 14th. things are not going to get better. I'm telling you, we're not going to go on any sort of run. We're still yet to win 2 Premier League games in a row. I don't know when was the last time that even happened. So we're not gonna go on a run or any of sorts. So use the Premier League to kind of integrate these youth players into the squad, and then find your best squad for the Europa League. That's how I think the rest of the season should go.
But that could
FA
also
Cup,
backfire.
Europa League.
If you put on a bunch of academy players and then you get relegated, all those players are going to fail.
Wow,
in
you
their career.
went there,
No.
man.
So that's the
You
thing
went
is, like, when you say a bunch
went
of
there.
academy players, I don't think he's going to put out 11 academy players and just get us relegated like that. I think there's
They're
ways
so
that you
lucky
can try
because the
to-
3 clubs, Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich, are so dog shit
They're really bad.
that
Yeah.
they are gonna get relegated. Like, you and Spurs are very lucky. If this was like 8 years ago and you had like your West Bromwich Albions and shit, where
Blackburn
they're
Rovers
actually
and all that.
decent
Yeah,
sides and shit, like, you'd actually been in trouble. But
Neil,
now you're so
Sunderland,
lucky because
Stoke
the 3
Cities,
teams
and
are
all those
so
teams.
crap. Because Southampton ain't gonna stay up. Let's be serious here. Leicester ain't gonna stay up. Let's be serious here, even with Rude or without. And Ipswich ain't staying up. So like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, like,
Well, this is the thing. I don't think we genuinely get relegated. I think definitely, like you said, the teams below us are much, much terrible than us, considering where we are in the table too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying use the Premier League because, again, things are not going to improve. It's not like things are going to get better. We're not going to go on a run. I've said this all season under Ruben Amorim. There are games that we are not supposed to win, that we will win, like when we went to Man City, when we had the performance against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and when we went to Anfield as well and got that result, the 2-2 draw. But then there are games which you look at which we should be winning and we don't win, and that just shows the inconsistency in our squad. Like last week when we played Palace, that game honestly pissed me off so much because Palace didn't do much in that game either, but they were just clinical and took their chances, as simple as that. And we made defensive mistakes yet again. So it's those type of things, and I accept where we are in terms of our season, and I accept what we were going, how we could have turned out to be going with Ruben Amorim when he got appointed. That it was always going to be a shit show. The whole reason why we've been here is because of the inconsistency of our board, of not trying to come to a decision on when we should sack Ten Hag, if we should sack Ten Hag, when they should have at the right time, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in. So what I won't get is if they end up, they forced Ruben Amorim to come into this team, told them, oh, we want you right now rather than the end of the summer. Are they scared of Ruben Amorim going to a different team had he stayed with Sporting? I don't know. But then you're going to do all this. You're going to pay him all that money, and then you're just going to sack him at the end of the season if results go wrong. That's why I just don't really understand that aspect from it. I think they've thrown away this season already in terms of how it's played out when they sacked Ten Hag. They're looking at him to like, okay, to answer your question, Martin, I think in this January transfer window, they've looked more at, let's try to get rid of the players who are on high wages. Let's try to, save up some money so that in the summer, hopefully we can try to invest fully into it. And we can try to be on this whole Amorim train and try to get him more players so for this whole process.
But do you feel like he gave Rashford a chance, for example?
He did give Rashford.
And Rashford was just terrible.
Rashford was the striker in his first game. Rashford played against Ipswich and scored, and I think he did definitely give Rashford.
Put in a performance against Everton too. Like
I
he
was
had a
expecting
chance
him to come in and have more of an effect on your style of play and your positivity around your club. But I'm seeing you guys have conceded first 7 in the last 8 games at home and on Trafford, and he was getting booed at halftime when you guys are down. So it's hard to survive and make these changes.
Like I think it's just frustration from all aspects. Like, for example, when Xerxes got booed off, I think when he got substituted in that one game, I said I don't really think it was me personally. Don't think it was necessarily specifically to Xerxes. I think if anybody at that moment got subbed off, that would have been the same reaction because we were terrible up until that moment. And I think that's where the whole like boos and stuff in the crowd, this is just my opinion, but I think it's just ultimately towards everything that we're seeing at the club, like everything in terms of recruitment,
the situation,
in terms of like performances, everything in a nutshell is more so of why I think they're booing the team. But this is it. And like I said, we're going to take every game as we approach it. And I'll look at the lineup on that day and I can tell you how the game's going to go. And I think the only person who could change that, who could try to better him, our season for himself would be Ruben Amorim. Currently, I'm looking at him. And that's why I'm a little bit like, again, I'm not Amorim out. I'm not Amorim out either. He's my manager. I support him and I hope to see him.
Are you going to do the Staffy thing where he's doing like, he's saying it's time for us to be the United Egal, basically, where it's like, we're just going to back this manager. No, but I swear, he actually said it. He's like, listen, you have to just back this guy because it's so dog shit right now that it needs a lot of work.
It's not even that. I'll speak for myself. I backed Ten Hag in his first season because I saw certain things which were good to me. But then when things went wrong, that's when I started to criticize him, especially in the second season in the summer when he made all those. We spent 75 million on Hoyland, who half of the time appears on the pitch and half of the time he's on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown or in the Royal Rumble. So it's one of those type of things. And yeah, he also spent like 50 million on Marshall's player, Mason Mount, and yeah, so it's like. That's when I was kind of like I started had question marks of Ten Hag, and then when I was fully out. But I give managers the fair share, and I don't think he's been in the most fair situation either for me to actually judge him this season. You can judge him as I've been criticizing him on what he can do, the controllables, which are like the lineups and stuff that he does play, but the overall situation is not his fault. He walked into which willingly, by the way, he willingly walked into a house which was burning down, and that's you have to kind of obviously look at him to a certain extent as well as why you
clearly.
Are you looking at Ineos now? That's the bigger question.
Of course. I've been looking at Ineos the moment that they have stepped in. I've been looking at Ineos from this.
Why the fuck did you just get hammered in the summer? Like, what's the point?
Oh, you know what the
you just wasted everyone's time. Like, you literally just wasted.
That's what I've been saying. And that's why this season has turned out.
They did. Like, you believe that you wasted everyone's time, right?
Yeah, like of course, like Ineos 100% wasted everyone's time. You should have sacked him after we won the FA Cup. It would have been the perfect goodbye for all the people who supported Ten Hag and stuff like that. He would have actually left on good terms with the club, and not necessarily with me, but good terms with majority of the fan base. But we didn't. We had 10-hour meetings where they were drinking coffee and eating like donuts and shit for 10 hours, and they just didn't come to any sort of decision. And they ended up keeping him. And I keep saying this: had we won against West Ham, we would have seen Ten Hag for a week more. And it's those type of decisions. Why not? Why just keep Ruud until the end of the season? Why even bring Ruben Amorim to the time that you did bring him? Because then now you didn't want to back him in January. And now you're just like, oh, this is more of a preseason for Ruben Amorim. Preseason would have been perfect had you just sacked Ten Hag when he needed to be sacked.
Do you guys wish you never won the FA Cup?
No.
Because I felt like the owners were trapped in that situation where, like, you can't sack a guy who's just won you a trophy, like a pretty major trophy too, right?
No. I won't say that because, again, there's context to that situation. We won an FA Cup in a season where we had our worst ever Premier League form and our worst ever Champions League run. So
right, it's the biggest Band-Aid I've ever seen, right?
Yeah, it's like the biggest covering up of the shit show of the season that we
that
had.
didn't even cover the shit show because it still was a shit show.
Yeah, it continued.
Yeah, it still was a shit show, 100%. And even in that FA Cup run that we had, we almost lost to Coventry City. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah, Shik, I was actually going to ask you, didn't what Maguire did just recently happen last season too against Coventry? He saved you guys last minute.
He did.
Big up Maguire, man.
Maguire. Big up who as well, Nicholas Jackson. Because Shik does have a stream after this that we're redirecting to, so he's gonna expand a lot more on this United convos. So, Mr. Martin, all of a sudden he wants to stretch. Why don't you play a soundboard now, huh? 2 wins and 8. Two wins and 8. Todd Bowley is stealing ticket money from your fans. You get me? Are you gonna address this? You get me? Let's have it right.
The Todd Bowley thing I'm not gonna address because there's so much
I
don't even know. I don't even know much about it. Because I mean, listen, the whole situation is a weird one. I think it's a cultural difference as well. Because here in the U.S., like ticket reselling is like so normal. And I don't think Todd Bowley is literally sitting behind a MacBook Pro just trying to buy tickets from Chelsea fans and reselling them. I think he has plenty of money and plenty of things to do other than that. But in terms of the game,
do you think it's a protest? Like he's just, I'm going to sell my tickets every week for $17,000 or something, just to screw the
I don't know. I've seen multiple clubs whenever I go to StubHub or like Vivid Seats or any of these sites. I've seen multiple teams sell tickets for like ridiculous amounts of money, and I just believe that that's what it goes for. I just genuinely don't know enough. But in terms of Chelsea today. It's a big game. It's a big game. We need to win in the FA Cup. This is big for the team. The team needs to win a trophy. Obviously, we crashed out pretty early in the Carabao Cup, which we weren't very happy with. And then going up against Brighton, it's a weird situation because I don't know what the striker situation is. As of right now, Guiu, the backup striker, he did something to his hip flexor or abductor because he did the splits at the end of the game and he stayed down. So he's out injured for who knows how long. Nicholas Jackson is questionable. So it looks like it might be Nkunku in the striker position.
His performances, or you mean injury?
Injury. He got taken off last game because he felt something in his inner thigh. We don't know if he's actually. The manager said if we will play him, it'll be a risky, pretty much. Like we might risk him, is what he said.
Do you believe you're gonna beat Brighton tonight?
I think so. I think the fan base are overreacting because saying, obviously the window was horrible for everyone, but it was horrible, according to Chelsea fans, it was horrible, especially for Chelsea fans, because we didn't get a striker, but who would have assumed that in one game, both your strikers would have fell through injury. And on top of that, we still have Nkunku, who I don't like as a striker option, to be honest, but he stayed, João Felix left, and there's a possibility that now, maybe with more minutes, he'll start to gel with the first team a little better, and maybe we'll start seeing Nkunku perform well, because who knows? He played a little bit better the last game against West Ham when he came on for about 30 minutes. He looked more involved, and things looked like it was making more sense for him. But I think against Brighton, listen, this is the same Brighton that held 7 to Nottingham Forest. So I think with our attack, we should have enough goals in us between Palmer or whoever else that we'll get the job done. It won't be as disastrous as people think it is.
Okay, if you do lose tonight, or you do get knocked out the FA Cup,
That's
are
bad.
you gonna be like irritated, annoyed, or are you just gonna go like, who gives a fuck? We want to get top 4 and win the conference.
No. If we do lose today, I will be irritated because I like I said before, I really want this team to win a big major, like Carabao Cup, or not Carabao Cup, Conference League. Sure, they're gonna win that. I don't know how much that's gonna do for the squad's morale and the mentality of the team, because I think this team does have a big mentality issue. You look at some of the games, how we perform. It's very much like last season. Last season, the players would step up for the big occasions. Your Man Cities, your Liverpools, your Arsenals, Spurs, and all that. And then in the smaller games against Middlesbrough, we just capitulate. So this season, it's been kind of similar in the sense that, the last 7 games, we had games where we could have just won. We were in the lead, but defensively, we just fell asleep. We weren't awake. Even the last game against.
Can you be honest about?
No, he's not been great. He's not been great.
Wow! Finally, we got there, Marshall. Hey.
No. I've
Only
been saying
8
this.
shows later, you've criticized Palmer now. Fucking well done.
I've been saying he's not been as good as he's been last season. He gets his goal here and there, but it's just not
Fucking
been
8
that
shows
great.
later, like he can actually say a bad word about him now. Finally, wow.
No, he's been okay, but for his standard, that's not good. You want a player that last season, I did the stats. Last season, you can literally say we were called Palmer FC because literally only one game where Palmer didn't play, we won. Every other game, Palmer was either involved, and if he wasn't involved, we did not win, or we either drew or lost. Like, it was ridiculous how dependent we were on Palmer. This season, not so much, but regardless of the fact, like, you see the player that you had last season, you want to see him back out there carrying games if the rest of your attack can't. So he's not been really up to the
Could it
quota
be that he was just a one-season wonder, and that's probably the reason why Plymouth let him go?
Plymouth. I don't think it was so much a one-season wonder. I think a lot of it this season does have to do with the new system. He's playing in a 10 position now. Now he's being marked more than usual. I mean, you look at the stats, he's still doing good in the stats department for the player that he is, so he hasn't fallen off completely. But, there are some chances that, for example, Jackson in this last 8 to 10 games, he's just not been putting away that Palmer put on a plate for him, and we have wingers in Pedro Neto and Sancho that aren't goal scoring wingers. You look at Madueke, who is a goal scoring winger, and he's just not been good at all in recent games. So I'm hoping he another issue too was he wasn't rotating his side, and this started happening around Boxing Day. He did come out in a press conference and allude to the fact that the window was kind of getting in the way of his substitutions. And then, funnily enough, the window closes and all of a sudden he makes substitutions around 50th minute, 60th. Like, is it a coincidence? I don't know. Time will tell if he continues to do so. But with his squad,
I think if you lose tonight, which I do predict will happen, by the way, fight me, but I do predict will happen. If you lose tonight, I think we're gonna have meltdown for the ages from your fan base.
Oh, yeah.
Like
100%.
it's gonna be a meltdown and a half.
It's gonna be bad.
What happened with Felix? Why did you guys do that to Felix?
Why do we do that to Felix?
Joao Felix is the shittest good footballer of all time.
There's a lot of
going to go
theories
to
out
AC
there.
Milan. And just
Aesthetically
cook
pleasing, but
He's
yeah.
so shit, but he looks good. That's literally
Yeah.
the feeling. He's actual
mean,
dog shit. Like,
I was inclined to have Nkunku go out on loan before Felix, but that's just not how things work out. Some people put it up to the agent. Felix has George Mendes, who's a phenomenal agent, who can get a move and has links everywhere, versus Nkunku, whose agent maybe is not as good and couldn't get him to move. Bayern was the only link that we really had. I think there's a lot of theories behind the Joao Felix move. I think part of it was Neto, who's also a George Mendes agent. We wanted him, so it was kind of scratch your back, scratch my back. If you take my client, Joao Felix from Atletico, and we were trying to get rid of Conor Gallagher.
You were trying to sell Conor Gallagher, right? So
So it was one of those, like, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You can get Neto if you just get, Felix with you to help my client. He also wasn't getting that many minutes because apparently Maresca never really wanted the player. I thought he'd improved this season off the ball. He was pressing more. He looked like he was up for it. And I thought he was going to start getting more minutes, but apparently it looks more and more like it was a favor. Like, okay, we'll play him and stuff. Just hold on to the player, and then we'll find a way to off him somewhere else. And I wasn't for it, but that's kind of what I kind of pieced together. It's a little bit of both, in my opinion, between minutes and just favors. It's weird. Chelsea's being run weirdly.
Chelsea had the best attack in the league and stuff, but I feel like a lot of the faith is going out of your.
We got a lot of the wind taken out of our sails after Boxing Day when our goals just started to really dry up.
when you bottled it against Fulham, say it as it is. You bottled.
Yeah, we bottled it against Fulham. We couldn't score against Everton. We scored one against Fulham, and then we couldn't score against Ipswich. We scored one against Crystal Palace. Like, the goals really started to dry up. Jackson's form dipped horrifically. He looked really good in the beginning of the season. He looked like he was up for it, and he was going to easily get double-digit goals this season. And for the longest time now, he's been for 2 months now. The man's been stuck on 9. I think in the beginning of the season too, we looked at Cole Palmer's goal output. We were really hoping Nkunku would, now that he's back from injury, he would put in a lot of goals, and then Jackson would match what he did last season or top it. And when you combine those three in a hypothetical, it looks like you're going to have a good goal-scoring season. But Nkunku hasn't stepped up. Jackson's goals dried up, and Palmer's not outputting anywhere near as much as he was last season. Time will tell. I mean, it's still not too late. We're what, the 5th best attack?
I look forward to watching Casually FC after you lose tonight. So I'm not
goodness.
locked in for that.
I'm not going to lose. We're not going to
Guys, we're 5 likes away from 250. That's our initial like target. Let me just read the super chat before we end the stream. Big up all. Shik, are United fans more concentrated on playing style rather than results because performance was not improving and the results are not good? Give us a short answer because I want you to expand a lot more on your own channel as well.
Yeah, definitely on results, 100%, considering how the season and stuff is going. But then you still have to look at what is the manager doing in terms of us to get a result. You have to definitely look at that. Is he setting us up right to get a result? And that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, performances to a certain extent, but results is the most important thing considering the situation that we're in. So yeah, especially in cup games, like you have to win, otherwise, of course, you're gonna get knocked out. So Yeah, you have
Okay.
you have to go through. So
Big up to you, Shik. Big up to Sai, LFC Sai. Big up to Gonzo, OR, BIG, Nilot Pal. Big up to Ryan. Big up to Denzel. Big up to Ed. Big up to Redline of Terranga. And big up to Tyler Jones. W is in the chat for Tyler Jones, who drops in the 30-piece
This
right as we're about
Montoya
to close
guy.
up the stream. Says, Deji got his head down like Montoya. It's all good, bro. Plenty of fish in the sea. I need to understand this Montoya reference because it's been 3 days and I still don't fucking get it. I
You
need to
haven't
understand.
seen it on
You haven't
Twitter?
seen it? Oh, man.
It's like some Spanish reality show, and this Montoya guy is like the main character. You got to see it to make sense of it.
Yeah, he's watching his girl get banged by another guy and
Yeah,
starts
it's
running
so
down the beach.
weird.
Oh my days!
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's live
Yeah.
It's-
telecasted, and he's just crying. There's one point where he runs into the ocean.
That's why someone
literally
yesterday
one
was
point
saying
where he
Montoya,
runs
por
into the ocean.
favor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you not seen
yeah.
like all the
Montoya
clubs
reference.
have been tweeting it as well? Like
This has
Montoya
gone
por favor.
viral. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it's going viral. It's crazy.
Is it
It's
like a
so
long
weird.
clip or a short clip?
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
It's like 2 minutes or so.
Yeah. It's
I'm
drama
gonna watch
though,
this
Hassan.
thing.
There's like so many different parts to it as well.
No, I was actually kind of invested. Not gonna lie, I was like, wait,
I
what
was
happened
invested
here?
as
Like,
well.
why are they on an island? And it's just
It's like
Is
Is
it's
this like a
The
Spanish
internet,
version of
the
Love
internet
Island?
is finished.
Yeah,
The
Spanish
internet is
Love
yeah,
Island.
yeah.
It's like
It's like a
finished.
Spanish Love Island. Yeah.
finished.
I'm gonna
Poor
watch
guy,
this. I'm
Montoya,
actually gonna
man.
go watch this after this so I can understand
Poor
better.
guy.
Jesus.
Why the fuck I search Montoya and the first thing that pops up is fucking Formula One official account tweeting
Oh,
Montoya
no.
por favor. What the
Yeah,
fuck? I don't know what this is going on.
everyone's
I
tweeting.
swear to God, look, fucking Formula
That's
One, bro. Like
hilarious.
actual Formula One account. Like what
That's
the hell?
actually funny.
That's mad. That's mad. Okay, I need to. I need to know like what's
Give
going
yourself
on.
5 minutes and
There's a
educate yourself.
Montoya
It's
in the
pretty
chat.
funny.
That's hella funny.
Yeah.
There's a Montoya in the chat.
He's gonna miss the whole game now. The Chelsea game. Just watching.
Is it this video?
Getting deep into the story. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Off the channel.
Yeah, big up to Jordan. It says W stream. Big up the panel. Thank you so much, Jordan. I did enjoy it as well. This was an absolutely phenomenal show. Big up to you, Jordan. Big up to everyone locked in. Make sure guys are liking the video on your way out. Make sure guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Guys, TJ Warren TV is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Deji Spurs is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Casual FC is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. And this stream is going to take you over to Shik TV as well, who's doing a stream now to talk about Manchester United. Go start the Shik so we can redirect that.
I've already started
So-
it. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so this stream is going to take over to Shik TV. He's going to be talking about Amarim. I think Deji's live as well in 10 minutes. Step up to the mic. You get me? So can't wait to see all the ain't sexuals too. So have both streams open up, new tab. You get me? And call in and cook Deji if you guys want. Regardless, love you all. And I'm going to see you guys back for Brighton Chelsea, inshallah. Peace out.
Big up.
Big up.